and here we are again. This time from slightly better angle in terms of like the front of the sculpture. I'm still working on the overall volume of the piece. What I think, obviously I don't want this to be perfect sphere or circle, because the nests are not like this. But I think in terms of composition, there is like too much volume on this side, so I'm just gonna do it. You know, I'm not really a great speaker or a show pony for the videos, but I will do my best, to show you how I work and how this has been created. Second thing, I am not a multitasker, so as I'm sculpting, I struggle to speak. So I'm just gonna sculpt, I guess. Well, I will try to, get an impression of the Spanish moss, which is frequently used as an insulation and bedding material. So I will see. Obviously, I'm not going to sculpt each individual like single needle strand of it, but I want to get an impression of it, so it is recognizable in terms of like the feel of it, the how it, the impression of it. There are more solid elements, the branches, and soft elements like the seaweed or some grass and moss. So I first need to get the structures. And I was tempted to actually go on and use the branches, or actual original branches from the trees, because I could mold them. I could just mold them and cast them in bronze. But I was worried that first of all, I didn't like the idea of me sort of like using ready-made elements. I want to observe it. I want to sculpt it myself. Secondly, because nature is perfect, and if I include the perfect elements with my interpretation of it, which is the eagle part, and you would suddenly look at this mixture of branches and the nest, and you would see like a huge contrast between the sculpting hand, the fingers, the tool marks, and this actual natural branches and elements of the nature. And I guess that's another thing that's coming to my mind right now. It would be that I would never be able to build a nest as good, as close as good as Osprey. So that would be that wouldn't work. I decided. Well, I knew from the beginning that I will want to sculpt it to have my own interpretation of the nest, as well as include a degree of artistic interpretation. So I will balance this in terms of the strength with the already existing piece, the eagle and the fish, so it does not disturb the composition. The harmony of the piece, of the composition. So as usual, it's from general to detail. I'm working out the general form of this nest. So then I will go into trying to work out how to get an impression of the Spanish moss and maybe some grass, some seaweed, the branches obviously. This is already something that I'm working on because they are the structural elements that you can already sort of see they're being defined. This is something new for me. I have not sculpted a nest before, so it is a challenge. Looking forward to how it's going to develop. I've done a coral reef in my moray eel sculpture that is going to be on the Royal Society of Marine Artists exhibition coming up very soon on the 18th of November. So there was something new because I have never sculpted the element of the environment of the marine creatures. And this time I wanted to include the coral reef for the moraine as this is how I see the moraine moray eel often in its environment, that is hiding in the rocks, in the caves, in the coral reef, and it's just waiting there to snap at the fish passing by, and it also gives it protection and so on. So it was a challenge and it came out satisfying, very happy with it, very natural, and so you can see it on the exhibition Mall Gallery starting 19th, because 18th is the preview. So if you want to go on a preview, you gotta email me for the invite. Otherwise, it's open for public from 19th, and the piece will be there. And this is going to be the first terrestrial element of the environment, which is the osprey nest. That's it. As I said, and I will repeat this kind of to myself, the aim of this is not to recreate the actual nest of osprey, but to give an impression of the osprey nest, to create a composition element that is, carrying the characteristics of the osprey nest, and it actually, so there will be a degree of authenticity. So for me, my reference is mainly the album of Mark Smith, which has images and descriptions of nests, as well as loads of osprey images. I don't know if you noticed one of the talons is missing. That kind of happened as I was loading up the clay here, and it snapped, which shows how fragile the wax is. You just dunk it and it crumbles. So I will weld it on, melt it on later, which, and resculpt the joining point. But that's what happens. So it is important to sort of supervise the process as your sculpture is being processed, I don't know, in the foundry, or somebody else is doing it for you. Then keep an eye on these things, because the sculpture is being constantly taken apart and put together, taken apart, put together. The double molding process, also the casting, the candles, everything's affecting it. So if you're doing it yourself, you can ensure the quality, but if somebody else is doing it for you, you got to keep an eye on what's happening, so to be sure it's like you want it. Okay, so I think this is enough for this video. I will do another one when this is almost done. When this is like on the finishing stages, I will make another video, and this one will end here because it'll, you know, nothing's happening really. I'm still working it out. Just need to experiment a bit, I guess. Work with different tools, with different techniques, you know, get some observations, and you know, get to the point where I feel, you know, I know how it is gonna, what the shape is gonna take in the end. Okay. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.